Hello, friends, neighbors. John, your wish neighbor here. Welcome down to the Nook, and welcome to Bourbon for the holidays. I was trying to think. It was not a shopping guide exactly, a stocked guide. This is not a gift, although I'm happy to have any of these as a gift. This is, what should you have on your shelf if you're going to have a number of people over? And so it's likely this stuff's going to be in mixed, at least, very simple things perhaps, old fashions or whatnot. Or, someone just wants it over a rock. So you're getting, I think, good bourbon, but you're not breaking the bank to keep this around on the shelf. Or you're bringing it to a party and you're just pouring it everywhere. So anyways, this is going to be a walkthrough of these classic. We've got Wild Turkey, Knob Creek, Buffalo Trace, and Bulleit Bourbon all in my market, available, all of them affordable. I bought all of these between $32 and $38 Canadian. Yeah, that's sale prices, so I wait for a sale. Anyways, because I want to have some fun, I'm doing it blind. So I'm going to talk about what I think they are, also what I'm tasting. We'll do a reveal, but because this is my chance to have a bit of fun with whiskey too, I'm going to do it blind. So pour something, pour a bourbon, and let's talk bourbon for the holidays. 3, 4. Okay, as I said in the opener, we're going to go through all 4 of these, and I've already done the blind mixing. This time I didn't get a friend, but I'll do it again for you a little bit. Basically, it means, and I've seen some interesting, who is it that has his, he's making a product that does this, but the truth is, if you pour this half an hour ago and you walk away, they look the same. You're not looking while you're spinning things around. There is not a chance that I know what order these are in or what's in them. There are colored dots, I hope. They're still there on the bottom, and I've written an index here. So the point of this, the blind is for me. I want to see what I know and have some fun. But the point of this for you is, of these affordable bourbons, like I said, between 32 and 38 bucks Canadian. Yes, it's on sale, but these are, you can stock these. I think people can have these for the holidays, but are they any good? So I'm going to start over here, and we'll see which bourbon I start to think this is, and then I'll talk about that bourbon, and then we'll do a reveal later and see just how bad I am. So this first bourbon smells like bourbon. And bourbon for me has nice caramels, a bit of cinnamons, and I get some fresh oak, right? I drink all kinds of whiskey, and bourbons stand out for their sweetness and their oakiness against other things like scotches, for example, which are older and older. I don't know what older tastes like, but a little nuttier, musty maybe, that kind of thing. Yep, sprightly and lively. Gonna go right on the, I better just nose them. So which one is this one? I have no idea so far. Second one. Okay, now this one has a lot more nut in it. So one of the things that I think bourbons can go around in is they can give you, aside from what I just said, oaky, woody, cinnamon, sweet corn. Then they have other things. This one has, significant peanuts. So right away I'm leaning towards this is probably Knob Creek. Do I know that? Not at all. But Knob Creek, out of Jim Beam, 50%. It's nice and hefty, but it tends to have a lot of nut notes for me. This one, interesting. Okay, so this one's got a little more cherry. Now, cherry I don't associate a lot up here. Sometimes Wild Turkey. Now, this particular bottle of Wild Turkey is letting me down. So I'm interested in if it's going to hold up in this one. But let's say this one's got a little more cherry in it and those other notes, and so that's making me think, maybe it's a little Wild Turkey. I get a little bit of cherry off Wild Turkey. Oh, okay. And this one seems pretty sweet. And more sweetness of all these bourbons here, I have to say, like really Buffalo Trace is the sweetest bourbon, and I better be able to taste it when I get to it. So if this one's giving me a little more honey in my honey nut Cheerios, then this one is likely Buffalo Trace. Okay, well, I'll go backwards and I'll sip them to see which ones are which. Cheers. I don't think that's Buffalo Trace. Now, it's the first sip of whiskey. The reason why I said that is this now has really quite a bit Like, yeah, the sweetness made me think that, but it is punchy, spicy. It's got a bit of rye hug. So already, now I'm moving all the way over here. Even I know I said cherry, but sweetness sometimes I can get off Wild Turkey. The spice on this is making me think, oh man, we're looking at maybe that's Wild Turkey. But that's first sips. I should explain there's going to be a few cutaways because I have to clear my palate between them or there's no chance. They'll just blend together. It'll be like John having bourbon. So let's see what this one. Yeah, the nut is still up front. Interesting. That palate did not talk to me like Knob Creek. That palate was, you know what? It was pretty tasty. It was kind of a mix. In fact, that palate made me think, I haven't talked to you about Bulleit up here, but, Bulleit, I think gets a lot of negative press, even though it's on every shelf in every bar, because they source their own stuff. I know they're making their own stuff now, and this probably is that. I don't know. The bottle's pretty old, and they really didn't share where they were sourcing and whatnot. Of course, they do have their own distillery now. I don't know. That's tasty, and I often have that thought with Bulleit. Like I often just like, it's kind of a nice balance of all those things I mentioned. It doesn't have a lot of anything. It doesn't have a lot of nut, and the palate didn't have a lot of nut, and that's why I'm thinking, well, maybe that's Bulleit. Going for this. Okay, now this has some rice spice. This has some fruits. It's got some sweetness. Got nice backbone, but it's also pretty. I said backbone. I think it would hold up in a cocktail, but it's also pretty mild. Now, mild makes me think of Buffalo Trace. Now, usually I like Buffalo Trace because it's sweeter. It's sweeter. This is not sweeter, and especially in the aftertaste. In fact, you know what? This is interesting. This is a wild card here. Right now, my mind has just said, you know what? Because this is here, it may be Wild Turkey, and I'll tell you why. Not the Wild Turkey of old. Not the Wild Turkey 101 that I want on my shelf. Not the Wild Turkey 101 that you deserve on your shelf. But the one that I've been getting lately. This Wild Turkey bottle is more muted, and this whiskey's muted. All right, let's taste this one. Then I'll taste them back. I'll lock in on final guesses. Nice oak on that. Cheers. That's Buffalo Trace. That's Buffalo Trace. That one I think is Buffalo Trace because it's sweet, it's nice, it's light, it's an all-rounder. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure of my picks. I've got to drink through them and think about it so I don't get too embarrassed in front of you guys. Maybe I'll speed this part up, but you can watch me. Should be interesting. Okay, that's interesting. I usually lock in pretty quick on a preference in a tasting like this. But I have to tell you right now, when you go back and forth between a couple of 50 percenters and 45 percenters and you have that much, your palate starts to go, what are you doing? Like my tongue is like, you're drinking bourbon. Why are you trying to tell me to taste different things? It is a challenge when you're into four. Right now, these are in order of preference. And I've told you before in this time that right now Wild Turkey's letting me down. I would say memory, notes, past experience. My preference is Wild Turkey, Knob Creek, Buffalo Trace, and Bulleit. Having said that, I started and I'm ending this video at some point saying I like all of these, and every one of these I would say go into your store, what's on sale, bring that home, with this caveat: spicier, nuttier, sweeter, an all-rounder. But really, when we're talking for the holidays, all-rounder is awesome. I have no problem with Bulleit. I know many people don't say that out there, but I like Bulleit on ice. I love it in cocktails. I tend to say if you're making a cocktail, I would have always said go for this one. Wild Turkey 101 has the nicest cinnamons. I get a bit of cherry fruits in there. It's oaky. It's like, this is definitely the one that I've bought more than anything else up here. This bottle, I've heard this, is not the Wild Turkey of old. I don't have any old stock. There's something going on. I hope it's just a temporary slump and we're going to get back into better casks. I found a Russell's Reserve on sale for like 44 bucks Canadian. I should have bought 2 of those and just used that for my Wild Turkey hit, even though it's a 45%er, because that's good Wild Turkey. Anyways, the reveal. How wrong could I be? Very, very, very wrong. So, let's see. I put them in the order that I think, also in the order of what I prefer today. So let's see just how bad I am. This is my key for me. So the top one here is blue, and blue is Knob Creek. Ha! I got one right, and I started right. We should end here and say thank you very much. Have great holidays. Whew! I got one right. One right is even just good. One right. Okay, what's this? White. White is Wild Turkey. You guys have no idea. You have no idea. I hate guessing in blinds. I have no problem saying what I like today and revealing that I'm wrong. I just hate being wrong. But yes. Please, 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 please. Yellow is Buffalo Trace. No shit. Sorry. And green is Bulleit. Hey, I guess I get to eat the Christmas treat up here. Look, you guys, that is not the point of this video. The point of this video, I tried to do it along the way, was, by the way, I really like chocolate and bourbon. I don't eat chocolate during the year. I just don't. But at Christmas time, there's chocolate kicking around, and there's something about that interplay. Man, do I like chocolate and bourbon. Normally, I like nuts and bourbon. So, what did we learn today? Well, not much. But I hope that you learned that any one of these 4, go and find it on sale, should be in your house for having guests over. You've learned, you've heard me say, learned is a strong comment, that Wild Turkey right now is in a slump. I'm just one guy. I've heard it from a few other people, but this Wild Turkey for me is not what I've brought home before, but it's still my second favorite in a 4 in blind. So it's not a slump. Even I said slump and muted. That's not fair. This is number 2. You know that John has a preference for Knob Creek. And if you've watched me before, you know I like Knob Creek. I love Knob Creek. I was talking to cousin Brad, and Knob Creek is a favorite of ours. But that doesn't mean these guys aren't worth having. You know, Buffalo Trace is a lovely sweet bourbon. And I will say, if you're pouring on rocks, but you can't afford, there are better bourbons than I have here. This Buffalo Trace almost always pleases. It's sweet, it's honeyed, it's for a bourbon light. All of these are bourbons. They're going to kick you around a bit. And I know this finished last, and people are like, yeah, see, Bulleit's trash. It's not trash. I have no problem buying this. And you know what? When this runs out, I will look for a sale. I would never buy any one of these at sticker. I will look for a sale and buy it on offer. Thanks for joining me down here. I don't know how I'm going to edit that or speed that up, but I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. I hope what that means is a good book or 100 people in your house. Look, I don't know what you like, but that's what I wish for you. I wish this season, it's cold, it's dark, something warms you up. That light, that encouragement. I want that for you. And I'm saying it because I'm hoping it happens for me too. My family is home today. They're upstairs wondering what I'm doing down here in the Nook. Well, no, they know what I'm doing. Anyways, you guys have a fantastic holiday.